Hey, welcome back to my channel, everyone. This is Miss JD for the second video I'll be recording this evening. And the focus of our discussion today is really on my insights for the highly traded stocks that we have in the Philippine market as of February 17, 2021. Okay, so I'm using Investograms for my charting tool. But before I get started, I'm inviting everyone to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always updated whenever I have new videos. I do review stocks in the Philippine market, sometimes in the US market. So if you'd like to start your journey in the world of stock market, then you have the right channel here. Okay, so let us first talk about our index. Let us see what happened today. Oh, this for me is not looking good. So we had our resistance right here. Okay. So this was your resistance. It tried to correct. And let's see if this level will hold. Okay. It created a lower high. See this high over here? And then when it bounced, it created a lower high. So I'm thinking it could go back to the 6,813 level. That. Or it can just let's see if it will hold in this level. But definitely overall my outlook here is just really going to um, move slowly, nothing bullish as of this point, as of the moment. So it's either it could just go sideways here respecting the MA20 line, but overall if I'm to zoom out a little bit, the overall direction of the MA20 is pointing downwards, and volume for while the price was declining is still high. That means the selling sentiment is still there. So chances are we could be going back to the 6,700 level and then stabilize before we continue higher. Hopefully, it will just stabilize right there and continue to move higher. We don't want it to fail any lower than that. It's not going to look good. Okay, so hence, I will not be surprised if a lot of our stocks here are in red. Highly traded stocks were on red today, except for APL. Now let's go through each one. Although some of these highly traded stocks for today have been covered in my portfolio because I quickly talked about my portfolio update. But definitely this one is going to still be applicable because this is just a general perspective of where we are heading. All right. So at this point, I'd say Dito is still overall rallying to the upside. Okay, you have some foreign buying that happened here, even though we ended with a red. I feel that if we are going to stabilize and correct, it's just going to be very minor correction. And in fact, if it is going to break the 1716 level, let's say it drops up to this point, I don't even think it's going to drop up to that level. Chances are we could just be stabilizing in this area and then continue to push higher. Take note, we are getting near the launch date of Dito. Okay, so expect that there will be red days. So if you're happy with your gains, go ahead and lock in some gains. And when I say lock in some gains, if you have 1,000 shares, for instance, if you want to cash out 200 worth of shares, then go ahead and do that, and then let the 800 shares ride the wave going up. And then if it goes down, at least you have your buying power out of that 200 shares that you sold, and then you can just buy it again down here. So that's the point. Just work your way and take profit along the way if you'd like. And the goal is to still have that good amount of shares to still join as we rally going up. APL for me is starting to look bullish over here. So we have not fully broken out of the resistance, short-term resistance that we have around the 0.25 area. Okay. But overall, because we have started triggering it, and we somehow, I think, most of today's candlestick, majority of the body that is already higher than the MA20 line with a slow increase in the volume. Foreign buying is there, so I really have I have a positive feeling that we could have a continuation by tomorrow. This is a good 9% increase from today's performance alone. So personally, as you can see, if you'd like to view my other video, APL is in my portfolio. Um, I had several transactions here when it went down, and then when it went, well, it went up. My initial average here was 0.18. Then when it went up, locked in some gains, it dipped, bought some more out of the buying power. That was what I was mentioning earlier. The buying power that I got when I sold at the 0.42 area, I just bought it here. But it wasn't really a super perfect entry. I bought it at a 0.31, I bought it at 0.19 and 0.20, and which brought my average to overall 0.23. And we're on a green now and on our way there again. So if you'd like to lock in some gains, uh, when it goes higher, then you may also do that, so you can have more buying power when time comes and it dips again. But personally, my take on this is that I feel that there will be a continuation going up. Although this is not confirmed yet, anyone can take profit, because this is a solid 9% gain, so they can take profit. But given the other facts that I mentioned, foreign buying, increase in the volume, chances are we will have a continuation moving up. PHA is on the fourth day of correction. At the same time, I also want to cite that you are very near an MA20 line, which is 252. And from short to midterm, uh, traders, investors, MA20 can also be a significant area because it can be an area of bounce, or it can also be an area of resistance depending on where you are at. If your candlestick is higher than the MA20, then your MA20 can act as a support. But if you go below that, then that can act as a resistance. Like what happened here, it reached this level, it got rejected, and then tried to recover again and recover, and eventually we managed to break out of that, and we had a continuation. So whenever you have a breakout of the resistance, chances are it will continue to push higher, retest your support, probably trade sideways for several days, and then continue to move higher when the stock is really bullish. Okay, so that's the explanation. At this point, I treat 252 as a possible support. You can do test buy, at least in case it drops, you can have some more buying power to buy it at the lower price. And if it continues to move up, then probably a green candlestick formed the 252 area engulfing a previous day's candlestick, then that would mean we are bound to move higher and higher. BSC, currently, what I'm looking at for BSC is that I want to treat this level as a resistance. Okay, two things here. A resistance can be broken. A resistance can also reject. So we are still really flat at this area. So we don't know if that the several days of rejection could mean it could go down up to the 1 peso level, or maybe another sideways until such time it breaks. So between the two areas, here, over here, I'd say it is safer if you enter at the breakout point, which is higher than, let's say, 121. That would be a good level to try out. At least you know that we are now trending up compared to entering. Well, it's true that support is nice because it's, of course, 1 peso is cheaper than 120. But if the volume and the sentiment is really on the sell side, you can as well break your support very easily. BDO got rejected over here at the MA20 line. So with this solid red candlestick, I feel that we could go back at the 100 level. Okay, so that's my outlook. We could get it at a much cheaper price, observed price action around the 100 peso level. MerryMart also retraced, but good because we're just right at the MA20 line. So let's say the market gives you a chance around the 7 peso level, then you can consider uh, doing test buy or adding more volume if you already have a good base. If it drops, let's say it breaks that, then of course the next support we see as we move to the left while screening downwards. So this is how I screen my next support. So I work from here and then I see this twice in a row, 2 days consecutively. This price level was hit and we got a bounce. Now if you look to the left, see this area over here and this area, these two were resistance previously. So a previous resistance, when we break out of that, when it revisits the area, it creates a support. So now MA20 over here is an area of possible support. Look at this. It used to be a support. Used to be a resistance. So similar to what I drew earlier, when we break out of a resistance, chances are we could be moving higher and we could revisit that. Try to create a new base here and then continue to push the price higher. That's scenario number one. If this breaks your support, then of course you have to check the next possible area of support, which for me is currently at the 636. So probably a wait and see game for MerryMart. I suggest if you want to engage in MerryMart, try to look at the big picture here. What are their plans? What are the projects ahead of them? And get in with a mindset of mid investor or a long-term investor even, because at the pace that we are currently having for MerryMart, 1%, 2%, it will take some time, but who knows? We could experience this again, big spike. 1 day worth of performance is like how many months worth of slow pacing movements here. ACEN. ACEN got a red today. This is your resistance, previous resistance, around 799. If it is going to drop, I feel that 716 is an area to watch out. Okay, so but I don't think it is going to really break lower than that. I feel positive about ACEN. The company is in good hands. The business model is really nice into renewable energy. So I'm thinking if it is going to drop, take advantage of that. 716 is the next area of support I'm looking at, and it might stay there for some time, create a base, create a support right there before it goes higher. Converge. Converge, I think it's still trying to correct. Do I see it dropping some more? Yes. I feel that it could potentially revisit 1750. This used to be a support, which was a resistance prior. Then chances are we could touch that, or will it touch this level? So that's one. This is another one. So let me just be on the conservative side, and price could potentially go as low as 1717. So if you find this already cheap, don't rush. You can still get it at a cheaper level. SM. Wow, big volume. No wonder. But this for me is a sign of weakness. We're very near a resistance at this point over here, and we got rejected each time we go closer to that level. But one thing good about what happened today is that it had a long wick down below here, and then it recovered all the way up here. So that means people feel that the 1033 area is already a good level and cheap, not really cheap, but they're willing to invest at that area and buy some more. Let's see what the potential is. Okay, we're still at the high level for SM, unlike the other stocks that dropped and it took some time before they can recover. But this stock very quickly, just a few days of drop, and then as early as March, April, we started rallying and going up. Green is red. Okay. So I wonder what I said about this yesterday. I know I mentioned about this, but with the red that happened today, 10 million on foreign buying. Let's try to measure the Fibonacci retracement. Find out. Let's find out where it could it potentially drop. Okay, first area would be 365, and then 342, and point 0.5 is 324. Last possible drop is 0.618 level, which is very near your MA20 line, around 3.05. So I just plotted the lowest point in the short term up to this point, and that now gives me at least key levels to monitor. And the next candlestick that I see is it will first challenge your 365 level. And let's find out if it is going to have a successful bounce right there. Okay, BPI not looking good as well, but you have some foreign buying that happened. So let's try to use the nearest support, which is your MA20 line, 83.86. But not really expecting a lot from BPI. We could have some sideways movement here. This one, profit taking after how many days of rally? From January 27, just minor red days, but overall the momentum was so high. So it did a solid drop, 15.89 foreign selling. So what can I say? I feel that the stock will have a continuation of profit taking activity by tomorrow. And so if let's say you haven't really taken profit yet, try. I hope you're still positive or green here. I know at one point when the price reached this level, you were so profitable, but if you did not exit, then it's starting to reduce your gain. But before it reaches to a red, uh, before it results into a loss, right? Even if the gain right now is so small, I'd suggest be grateful and take advantage of that, because I feel that this stock will have a continuation of its profit taking activity, and it could drop up to the 257 area. Okay, so I think that's it for this evening. I don't want to have a very long video, because I want to make sure that you're able to digest all these things. All right. In the meantime, let me also take advantage of this opportunity to invite you guys. If you would like to trade the US market, I highly recommend eToro. That is the platform I use for all my trades in the US. And for cryptocurrency, all those stuff, I use that link, or I use that platform. So the link is down below. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and bye bye for now. Good luck in your trades.